Morning. Welcome to Unitarian Coastal Fellowship, a place where many paths meet, where we honor the rich tapestry of spiritual traditions that weave us together, and where all are welcome to responsibly explore their own connection to the sacred. Bless you. And I mean it. Each month, we have a multi-generational worship service, so the children will be staying with us during worship today, and we are going to have an interactive art project that they are going to help us with. The nursery is available as usual, as is the quiet room. And just for the parents to know, today we're going to be telling 6 stories of Unitarian Universalism where everyday people, just little everyday people, got involved in what was going on in the world. So at some point in the day, we are going to talk about enslavement, the AIDS crisis, and reproductive health. So just so you know, your children might have some questions at the end of the day. And if you need any help with that, both Sarah and I are happy to help. I am Reverend Leslie Runnels, and I use she, her pronouns, joined today with Laura Prestwich as our worship associate. And we have many readers who are coming up to help us with the worship service today. We have Megan Smith on piano as usual, Maria Lundgren as our song leader. That's a whole new job. Karen Baggett and Brittany Stemminger are over there pushing all the right buttons to make sure you can hear and see us today. If you are visiting us for the first or second time today, would you raise your hands that we may welcome you? No, you've been here before, Landon. We know you. Do we have anybody on Zoom today? Yeah, okay, we'll check out who's with us on Zoom.
We have Dan Phillips, Jerry, John Brobst, Laura J. Ward, and Martha Kenworthy.
Beautiful. Let's wave to our friends back home. We miss you. All right, we have a couple of announcements today. Next Sunday is Friends Feeding Friends. So that's the day we bring in shelf-stable grocery items for the pantry. And the children will be selecting them up, picking them up from you during worship service. And the kids always like to get a lot, so bring a lot. And the Resistance Choir that Maria Lundgren is putting together with some other choir leaders. Tomorrow is the first rehearsal in New Bern at the UU Church in New Bern, which is like 40 minutes away from here, I think, something like that. It's always good to visit other UU churches to see what it looks like, what it feels like. And then the next 2 Mondays, it will be here at 6:30. And then all of the people who have been trained on all of the songs will be singing together on Saturday, March 28th at the No Kings Rally at the Beaufort Courthouse. So that's when we'll get to hear everybody. Isn't that exciting? All right, and this, I don't know if you've ever been to an organizing meeting where they say, okay, we have some housekeeping items. We have some housekeeping items today. Coffee is for coffee hour. And coffee hour happens after worship. So we have started having coffee before worship service. And one thing, we use fair trade coffee, which means that it's sustainably grown and has ethical hiring standards. There's no child labor involved, all of that. So I think a pound of coffee is $13, $15, right? And a pound of coffee would feed like 15 cups of coffee, something like that. More than that, maybe 30. So we go through a lot in a month. But the main thing is that our coffee pot is from Jesus' time. And it requires this long pole that you stick into it to get it started, and then you push a button and you have to wait for 20 minutes before you do anything else, and then you come and you make all the coffee. So what happens if all the coffee gets drunk during the before coffee hour, then the coffee people are kind of being tasked with running back there during worship service and starting more pots of coffee. In the meantime, where is Lauren? Oh, Lauren's with the kids today. But we are looking at new coffee pots that will allow us to make coffee faster, make coffee better, all of that. As we are becoming a growing congregation, we need more coffee. Coffee is a sacrament in the Unitarian Universalist faith, so don't worry. The other thing to say is we are starting to fill up our sanctuary, so the worship team is going to come and look at how we use our space. When this building was built 3 years ago, it was built with the intention of being able to spread into the social hall if we need more seating. So we just slide that thing back, put some more chairs back there. So that's going to start happening. So you'll see some changes with that. We also have a rocker in the back for if you are a nursing parent or caregiver, you are free to nurse wherever you want on this campus. We believe in feeding children is an absolute right and responsibility. But we do have a chair that's going to have a bippy or a boppy, I'm not sure, boppy, which you can put around your body to help the child stay up so that you aren't having to hold a baby up. So we're going to get one of those for the chair. You can always nurse there. You can nurse in the social hall, or the library has a nice little glider rocker. But we are trying to be more cognizant of that we have more babies in the building, including, that family isn't here today, what was her name? Little Danny, who I think is 1.5 years, was going to the quiet room, and she's tottering around, and she sees that outlet right there with the outlet, and gets her little finger, and she just goes towards that outlet, and I'm like, oh. And her mom, who was very deft at knocking little fingers away, did. But I was like, oh, we need to cover up our outlets. So Sandra Shelp is going to start working on that for us. So we're doing some things to make sure that we are welcoming in our congregation. You'll also notice that some of the chairs have arms on them. Does anybody know why the arms are there? What did you say, speed? Speed. They are to rest your, that's an armchair, right, where you put your arms. But when you are sitting in a chair that doesn't have arm support, to get up, you have to put your arms kind of at your hips, and that doesn't give you any leverage if you need help getting up. But if you have arms, then you can actually push yourself up. So that's typically useful for people who are older, but sometimes anybody might need it. So we just want to be careful that we make sure that if we see somebody who might need one of those chairs, that we give it to them. And the other thing is we are starting to have beautiful weather, so we're going to start using the patio more often. We might put some tables out there. We're going to have some fun little comfy chairs coming so that we can kind of expand out into the patio area as well. All right, that is our housekeeping all done. And now we will center ourselves here in sacred space and let music guide the way. Our Unitarian Universalist faith has grown from seeds planted by our Unitarian and Universalist ancestors. From them, we've inherited a legacy of courage and compassion, finding new ways to live our values.
These are the words of Reverend Elizabeth Wynn. As Unitarian Universalists, our journey is to transform the big and the small, to transform ourselves and to transform the world. Universalism means no one is outside the circle of love, and no one is disposable. Please say together unison response number 1. No one is outside the circle of love, and no one is disposable.
We stubbornly seek out the spark of the divine in each other, no matter what. Interdependence means none of us is truly free until we are all free, and our thriving is bound up in the earth's thriving. Please say together unison response number 2. None of us is truly free until we are all free.
We struggle for liberation from the violence of white supremacy, sexism, ableism, classism, and homophobia. Our covenants mean we make promises to our communities to honor love and justice above all else. Please say together unison response number 3. We make promises to honor love and justice above all else. And now let us speak these words as one. Come, let us worship together. Aiden, will you come light the candle for me? Riley, will you come light the candle for me? Sometimes the only thing we can do is be still for a moment, to remind ourselves what is real, the sun that rose this morning, the dirt under our feet, this hour. Try just to be present in each moment as it unfolds. Your simple attention is what makes these moments holy. We also light our peace candle to remind ourselves that peace is a process that requires work, that peace is not merely the absence of conflict, but the presence of justice.
Our commitment to connect bravely means that we are called to be glad with those who rejoice and to weep with those who mourn. So we set aside this time in our gathering to share with one another the joys and sorrows that are now shaping our lives. Should you wish to share a personal joy or sorrow about a person or persons in your life, there's a piece of paper over there you can fill out, and I will read it as part of the ritual. This is a sacred ritual that we do in meditative silence, being present to ourselves and to each other. You may now come forward along this aisle and along the outer aisle, select a stone and place it into the chalice. Laura, will you see if you can find a purple stone? Beautiful. We placed this purple stone for T. King, who passed away last Sunday. She was visited by so many of us on that Sunday, and I know she was held in deep love. Her memorial service will be next Saturday at 11, this coming Saturday at 11. Also want to place maybe a handful of stones, if you can. Yeah, thank you. For the people, the Iranian people, all the people who are caught up in this war right now that is happening, the lack of information that we have, the lack of trust that we have right now in our administration and the news that we are receiving. This is a hard time to sit with war, and we are sitting with war. So I place those stones for that. Thank you. This community witnesses your joys and your concerns. I'm sorry, one more. Adam says, a lot of concern for Muslims and Iranians suffering terribly at the atrocities of our nation. We have lost our way and we need justice. Amen. This community witnesses your joys and your concerns, even the ones not spoken aloud, are those that are slowly forming in your heart. May you know love, may you know peace, and may you be safe. That's you.
A couple of weeks ago, we began this worship service. We read 2 stories, and today we will read 6 more. These 8 stories come from our Unitarian, Universalist, and UU histories. Stories about how ordinary people showed up in very different ways and in particular contexts to side with love and show up for justice. To remind you of the first 2 stories we heard about the Reverend Waitstill Harp and his wife Martha, who in 1939 worked with various aid networks to rescue an estimated 125 people, Jews, political dissidents, and others under threat as fascist armies spread across Europe. In the second story, we heard about how our flaming chalice became the symbol of liberal progressive faith. During Nazi occupation, Reverend Charles Rind Joy oversaw a secret network of couriers and agents helping to provide travel documents that would allow refugees to escape to freedom. Those travel documents needed to appear official, and they asked Hans Deutsch, an Austrian refugee artist, to create a logo for the documents. The result was essentially the flaming chalice as we know it now. And like our faith itself, the flaming chalice symbol has evolved over time.
Today, we are going to have an interactive art project while we hear the other 6 stories of our faith. The children are going to pass out these little squares. These little squares of paper, everybody's going to get one of these, and you're going to get a little bundle of art supplies. And you will get some time to color in your little piece of paper. And then throughout the worship service, we're going to get the children to come through and pick up your pieces of paper when they're ready. And then they're going to start applying them to this board over here, and we will end up with a new story that we can add to the 6 stories we are hearing. You should all have an order of service and a hymnal near you. You might have to grab one from behind you. But you can use that order of service on your hymnal so that when you're coloring, you have a hard backing and you won't get coloring on the hymnals. If you don't have an order of service and you don't have a hymnal, ask your neighbor to get one for you. And you can also split your order of service in half to share it with somebody. Okay, so now I would like to get 6 young people who are willing to help with something. You want to help? It looks like if anybody needs an order of service to color on, raise your hand. What's that?
Karen wants to know if you're ready for music yet.
Oh, yes. While you are waiting for your deliveries of supplies, we have this music to play.
Butcher, the baker, the drummer, and me. Makes no difference what group I'm in.
Won't go up any higher?
But sometimes I'm right, and I can be wrong. My own beliefs are in my song. The butcher, the baker, the drummer, and me. Makes no difference what group I'm in. 'Cause I am everyday people. Strokes for different folks, and so on and so on. It's really, 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 ooh, sha, sha. We got to live together. I am no better.
Come on, get it, Barb.
Are you? We are the same, whatever we do. You love me, you hate me, you know me again. Still can't.
Sarah. I think that she would like one. You want your own? Did you get one, Amira? Sarah, can you give one to Amira? Did anybody not get a piece of paper? Yeah. All right, you can continue to do your colorings. It looks like we have a few left over, and we're going to need somebody to pick up the last two. Anybody want to pick up an extra one? Amira? Anybody else? Yeah, back there. One more. We got it. Beautiful. Okay, we are now going to welcome our readers of our third story, which is abolition. We begin our third story by remembering that none of us is truly free until we are all free.
In the 1800s, white Okay, is that better? All right, take two. In the 1800s, white Unitarians and Universalists had inconsistent responses to what we now recognize as the evil of slavery. The country's bitter divisions grew when the Fugitive Slave Act was passed in 1850. Some Unitarians and Universalists stayed on the sidelines while others became avid abolitionists. Unitarian minister Reverend Theodore Parker was an abolitionist, a leading member of the Boston Vigilance Committee, an underground group that helped hundreds of enslaved people find freedom.
In 1854, a 19-year-old enslaved person named Anthony Burns escaped from slavery in Virginia and fled to Boston, where he was arrested and held at the courthouse. A crowd of 5,000 assembled at Boston's Faneuil Hall, where Theodore Parker told them, "I love peace, but there is a means and there is an end. Liberty is the end, and sometimes peace is not the means toward it." Meanwhile, members of Boston's black community were meeting nearby and rushed to the courthouse in an attempt to rescue Burns. Hundreds of white abolitionists ran from Faneuil Hall to help them. An estimated 2,000 anti-slavery protesters mobbed Court Square that Friday night and tried unsuccessfully to free Burns.
The United States was built on a legacy of slavery, racism, and oppression that continues to take new, ever-changing forms. Today, 172 years after the Boston slave riot, Unitarian Universalists bear witness to the systematic devaluing of black lives. We commit ourselves to dismantling systems of white supremacy, which is institutionalized cultural pattern reaching far beyond any single incident or person.
Story 4, The Secret Six. We remember again that none of us is truly free until we are all free.
In the years before Kansas was admitted to statehood in 1861, there was violent conflict about whether slavery would be legal in the new state. John Brown, who had been born in the territory that became Kansas, was fiercely opposed to slavery. He believed that violence was justified in this righteous cause because white people would never willingly, peacefully put an end to slavery. Just a second.
In 1857 and again in 1859, John Brown came to Boston to seek financial support from local abolitionists. His strongest and richest supporters came to be known as the Secret Six. 5 of them were Unitarians. 2, Theodore Parker and Thomas Wentworth Higginson, were Unitarian ministers. The Secret Six helped fund and supply John Brown's 1859 raid on the Federal Army of Harper's Ferry.
In the words of Reverend Carl Gregg, we can today see the ways in which the Secret Six were naive in supporting John Brown's raid at Harper's Ferry. At the same time, the Secret Six did risk their comfort and privilege to support Brown's armed insurrection because they had come to believe that nonviolent legislative means of ending slavery had no chance of succeeding. The historical consensus is that Brown's raid, even though it failed, did catalyze the movement toward civil war.
Dismantling oppression is not easy. The systems of white supremacy, sexism, ableism, classism, and queerphobia don't want to be changed. They're powerful. They fight back when we attempt to find another way. How far would you go to set other people free? It's your question to answer. Our Unitarian Universalist tradition will not provide the answer for you. Instead, Unitarian Universalism asks us to engage in your free and responsible search for truth, for meaning, and for justice as we hold the tension between the world as it is and as we wish it would be. Okay, now we are going to ask for 2 children. Oh, we got 2 already. And y'all's job, you can go ahead and come up here. Your job is to collect the pieces of paper from that group over there. You can start at the back. And you're going to pick them up. Yeah, good job. We'll And if you aren't done coloring, you can hold on to your piece and keep working on it, because we're going to come through and pick pieces of paper up at a different time. Da 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 da. All right, and now what you're going to do, Wolf, and what's your, nope, not yet, not yet. Nope, y'all hang on to yours. You're ready to come on back. Yeah, come on back. We're just picking up from that side, and now what you're going to do is you're going to come over here, and Laura is going to help you out with this while Sarah is working on the peace room, on the quiet room. Also could be called the peace room. Okay, now over there you've got Laura. You should have some glue sticks. Sarah, do you have the glue sticks? Yeah. All right, and what you're going to do is you're going to look on the back of the piece of paper for the number. So, what is your daughter's name? Zella? Zelly. So Zelly, pick up a piece of paper and find the number that's on the back of the piece of paper, and see if you can find the number up there. And you're going to make sure you put it the right side up. The way the number's written. All right, great. So while they are doing that, we are going to sing a hymn, hymn number 1007. That's in your teal hymnal if you need the music. There's a river flowing in my soul.
There's a river flowing in my soul. There's a river flowing in my soul, and it's telling me that I'm somebody. There's a river flowing in my soul. There's a river flowing in my heart. There's a river flowing in my heart, and it's telling me that I'm somebody. There's a river flowing in my heart. There's a river flowing in my mind. There's a river flowing in my mind, and it's telling me that I'm somebody. There's a river flowing in my mind. There's a river flowing. There's a river flowing. There's a river flowing in my soul.
So as we look at this picture that's building up over here with the wonderful help of Wolf and Zelly, what is it? What do we have? Don't know yet. So we need some more stories and some more artwork to get this full picture. So while they are doing that, some of our stories of Unitarian and Universalist justice makers are about how injustice, which is the diminishment of a person's dignity, inherent worth, and autonomy, impact our personal choices. We begin our next story by remembering that we make promises to honor love and justice above all else.
Unitarian Universalists believe that freedom includes the right to make decisions about our own bodies. Wendy tricked me.
She knows what she's doing.
We're gonna do that one one more
Yes,
time.
please, thank you.
Unitarian Universalists believe that freedom includes the right to make decisions about our own bodies. We believe that people who can get pregnant always have the right to make decisions about their own reproductive health. In 1879, the state of Connecticut banned the sale and use of birth control. Under this law, which stood for over 80 years, a woman in Connecticut could not legally purchase any form of birth control. And in 1961, Estelle Griswold put Connecticut's ban on birth control to the test by opening a birth control clinic in New Haven. This simple act of civil disobedience resulted in the police shutting down the clinic and arresting Estelle Griswold. Deborah Weiner, a UU religious educator, recalls.
My mother was one of the founders of the Unitarian Society of New Haven. She, along with a bunch of activist Unitarian women, were leaders with Planned Parenthood of New Haven. During the time the clinic was closed, the board was determined to continue dispensing birth control. They set up in our basement with the windows cardboarded up, typewriters set up, boxes of diaphragms and gel and birth control pills everywhere. I was warned not to tell anyone what was going on. I was told that it could result in my mom getting arrested. So I kept quiet and the operation continued. When the Griswold versus Connecticut ruling came down from the Supreme Court in 1965, there was a huge celebration in New Haven. My mother and her friends, who were almost all UUs, were heroes because they carried on even when the police tried to stop birth control from being available.
Our bodies are sacred. No matter how many bodies bear scars from misogyny encoded into law, from violence, from lack of access to medical care, women's bodies are sacred, and so are the choices offered by reproductive freedom. Story 6, the clergy consultation service. I feel like I'm wondering if we were supposed to be picking up another round. Let's just do it, because I think I might have forgotten to put it in here. Can we get 2 more young people who haven't helped yet? Yes, please, and yes, please. You already helped, sorry, Wolf. Yeah, come on up. So you're going to collect the little pieces of paper from this group. And you can bring around an extra basket if you want to collect the crayons at the same time. And we're going to do this quietly while we read the next part. Some of our stories of, Unitarian Universalists know that life comes with hard choices. And we believe that pregnant people can be trusted to make hard choices, including the decision to terminate a pregnancy.
Even after the Griswold v. Connecticut ruling in 1965, it was still difficult for women to get birth control in many areas of the country. It was illegal and it was often deadly to seek an abortion.
In 1967, an unlikely group formed to help women obtain safe abortions, the Clergy Consultation Service, an underground network of rabbis and ministers, including UU ministers.
The charge for aiding and abetting an illegal abortion was a $1,000 fine and up to a year in prison. But the Clergy Consultation Service operated out in the open, says one minister, sending the message that we were chosen to defy the law in order to adhere to a higher law.
By 1973, roughly 1,400 clergy members across the country had helped hundreds of thousands of women access safe abortions. Having clergy take such risks helped to change social attitudes about abortion. And the case that became Roe v. Wade started in Texas with encouragement from the Unitarian Universalists, especially the Women's Alliance of the First Unitarian Church of Dallas.
Today, we affirm this commitment. In the words of Reverend Lisa Sargent, the movements for reproductive rights, for gay and lesbian and trans rights, for civil rights, for immigrant rights, for human rights cannot be separated. Each of them is fundamentally about ensuring that every person has control over their own life. All right, and they are doing a great job over there. But we still don't have the full picture. Maybe there's a hint of what's coming. I see GENE, so it's probably like genetic testing or something like that. It's probably what we're working on. Gene Simmons, whatever he did. So I'm going to offer us up a song while we continue to see this other story come to life. And Amari, I'm going to ask that once y'all are done putting them up there, if you'll go around and tack down some of the edges that are flipping up with the glue gun, with the glue stick too. Because I think it'll make it easier to see if everything's flat. All right, so I'm going to be offering this song, such a beautiful song, from Melanie DeMore. Melanie will be the keynote speaker. I'm not sure what you call that at a song leader conference. What would you call that? You know, like at a business conference is a keynote, but keynote song leader for the AUUMM, Association of Unitarian Universalist Music Ministries. And the conference will be at Wisconsin at the end of July. Megan decided she wanted to go early on, and I was on the fence until I heard that Melanie DeMore was going to be there, and I put it in my calendar. If you are interested to hear more about music and this conference and even want to think about going with us, please talk to me. It's always great that we get to see other UUs in different spaces and that our stories start to entwine as well. This song will snatch your heart from you if you let it. Let her go.
I'm sending you light to heal you, to hold you. I am sending you light to hold you in love. I am sending you light to heal you, to hold you. I am sending you light to hold you in love. No matter where you go, no matter where you've been, you'll never walk alone. I feel you deep within. So I am sending you light to heal you, to hold you. I am sending you light to hold you in love. I am sending you light to heal you, hold you. I am sending you light to hold you in love. No matter what you feel or what you choose to show, I'm always there for you. And so I want you to know that I am sending you light to heal you, to hold you. I am sending you light to hold you in love. I am sending you light to heal you, to hold you. I am sending you light to hold you in love. I walk the path with you. Go slow, dear one, don't hurry. I'll go just like you need to go. There is no need to worry, 'cause I am sending you light to heal you, to hold you. I am sending you light to hold you in love. I am sending you light to heal you, to hold you. I am sending you light to hold you in love. I am sending you light to heal you, to hold you. I am sending you light to hold you in
How is we still have this group to get from, right? We're going to do that in a minute, but not yet. But as soon as we get maybe these last two on, Sarah, I'm going to ask you to take it off of there and bring it over here, because this group can't see all that's happening over there, just so they can get to see how it's starting to come together. It's so pretty. I'm so excited. Okay, Sarah, you want to show it around? John's giving it the thumbs up. Nice, yeah. All right, beautiful. Thank you, helpers. We appreciate that. But we still have a few more missing pieces. Our seventh story shows us again that no one is outside of the circle of love, and no one is disposable.
In 1982, the CDC created the term AIDS, Acquired Immune Deficiency Syndrome, to describe an infection that was killing people. As the AIDS epidemic grew to claim the lives of tens of thousands each year, it became clear that AIDS was moving with particular vengeance through the gay community. The response from both secular and religious voices was silence or outright condemnation. Many churches refused to hold funerals for gay men, and their own families would turn away from them.
Unitarian Universalist ministers were among the few clergy who entered the pastoral breach, grieving with and tending to the dying. One of them, Reverend Kim Crawford Harvey, recalls.
I conducted the early memorial services with the clear insight that the first victims of a massive shipwreck were just washing ashore, though I couldn't possibly have imagined the magnitude of the loss. Time and time again, we stood facing the ocean and scattered the ashes of our dead into the wind.
Harvey remembers sitting in silence with the dying parishioner. "Listen," he said, breaking the silence. "In all this madness, even if it kills every single one of us, there is no one left to tell the stories. And it matters that we love each other well."
We are left to tell the stories. It matters that we continue to love each other well, that we make promises to honor love and justice. Story number 8, responding to ICE in Minneapolis. In our final story today, we recognize yet again that none of us is truly free until all of us are free.
On Sunday, March 7th, 1965, Alabama state troopers attacked 600 unarmed protesters as they walked across the Edmund Pettus Bridge outside Selma in an attack that became known as Bloody Sunday. The following day, Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. called on clergy across the nation to come to Selma to witness the brutality and to bring national attention to the violence and injustice there. In his call to clergy, Dr. King wrote,
"No American is without responsibility. The people of Selma will struggle on for the soul of the nation, but it is fitting that all America help to bear the burden. I call therefore on clergy of all faiths, representative of every part of the country, to join me for a minister's march. In this way, all America will testify to the fact that the struggle in Selma is for the survival of democracy everywhere in our land."
The struggle for the survival of democracy continues today. In January, Immigration and Customs Enforcement, better known by their acronym ICE, came in force to Minneapolis and St. Paul to conduct sweeping raids on Somali Americans and others. They have terrorized the Twin Cities. When faced with nonviolent protesters and observers, they've responded with pepper spray, tear gas, and bullets. Renee Good and Alex Preddy were murdered by ICE agents. In response to the escalating violence, faith leaders have once again been called to witness.
In 1965, clergy responded to Dr. King's call. Today, clergy are again responding to the call. UU ministers and other religious leaders from across the country went to Minneapolis to bear witness to the ongoing injustice as Side with Love writes.
Our faith calls us to affirm the inherent worth and dignity of every person, to side with love and to work for justice. We go to Minneapolis because when our neighbors are under siege, when mothers are dying from fear in their own homes, living our principles demands we show up. We go to bear witness, to use our bodies and our covenant to say, not here, not in our name.
Not all of us can go to Minneapolis to witness, but our response to all injustice must be as a community, not as individuals. No one of us is powerful enough to fight the oppressions we are experiencing, but together we can respond powerfully. Some of us witnessing in person, others supporting at a distance. All of us answering the call in all the ways we can. All right, I need 2 more young volunteers. Got 2 back there. Y'all come on up, and you're going to pick the last remaining squares up from this over here. Does anybody here still have squares? Anybody over here? Everybody gave them up already? Okay. All right, beautiful. And while they are putting the finishing pieces into our project, we are going to learn another resistance song. This song is from the Minneapolis Resistance Choir. It's okay to change your mind. They sang it in churches, on the street, and in front of the hotel where ICE agents were staying. Here are the words. Repeat after me. It's okay to change your mind. Show us your courage. Leave this behind. It's okay to change your mind. And you can join us. Join us here anytime. All right, so we're going to play a video from Minneapolis of people singing the song. And when you're ready and you feel it, just join in and start singing. And after the video ends, we're going to keep singing it until it feels like it's time to stop. Uh-oh. Oh, that's so sad. Yeah. Karen, you might want to hit escape and get out of that, and then refresh the browser. And we'll see if that works. If not, I can also lead it. Yay. Everybody needs a refresh. Oh. Dope. It should work. I don't understand why it's not. I think that's just the picture. That's the image. That button should work. So we don't need that, evidently. Huh? Yeah, I got it too. Yeah, you want to come up and sing with me? We'll lead them together. All right, you ready? You got the words. It's okay to change your mind. Show us your courage. Leave all behind. It's okay to change your mind. So you can join us. Join us here anytime. All right. Hang on. Let's go again. We're not going to. Okay. All right. Let's get the. Okay to change your mind. Show us your courage. Leave us behind. It's okay to change your mind, and you can join us. Join us here anytime. Again. It's okay to change your mind. Change your mind. Show us your courage. Leave us behind. It's okay to change your mind, and you can join us. Join us here anytime. Beautiful. So that song is also for us. Like, it's okay for us to change our mind too, right? We have some outdated ideas as well, right? We have courage, right? We get to show each other our courage. And we get to leave all that shit behind, right? Right? Leave all that behind. All right, we have now heard 8 stories of everyday people who made a difference in the world. 8 stories of people who longed for a better world, a world free from injustice, a world reveling in peace with love at the center. Now, Sarah, would you give them a moment to view it? Give them a moment to view it. And hold it up high so Landon can see it back there. Yeah, nice. Me too. Let me see. Oh, yeah. Oh, my gosh. How gorgeous is that? We didn't lose any this time. We had some holes last time. Beautiful. Thank you all so much for drawing and coloring today, and for all the young people who came to help and put this beautiful piece of picture together. We are going to do some more of these throughout the year, and we're going to start hanging them in the social hall up there around those little prayer flags, thank you, that y'all made, I think with Reverend Micah back in the day, yeah. So we're going to start adding these up there. As we have drawn our heart into the stories, here is generosity, one of our core values, which leads us seamlessly into the next part of our liturgy. And we are going to start taking the collection in a slightly different way. The greeters will come forward, receive the plates, turn around and face you, and then we will share who the share the plate recipient is, and then the greeters will pass the plate while Megan plays the offertory. We will also pass the plate differently. Each person will pass the plate to their neighbor until it gets to the end of the row, and that person will pass the plate to the person behind them in the next row. If you don't have an offering on any day, and that happens, you will still receive the plate. And even touching the plate with your hands is a blessing to the community that we are hoping to serve, to the organization that we are sharing the plate with. Okay.
We invite our greeters forward. They're going to turn and face the gathered congregation once they get our plates. This month, our Share the Plate recipient is the NAACP Scholarship Fund. And every year, the local NAACP chapter gives out 3 scholarships, one to each student at each Carteret County High School, especially West Carteret Go West, that is going to attend either a 2-year or 4-year college. The scholarships are for $1,000 each, which sounds like a drop in the bucket when you consider how much tuition is these days, but believe me, as somebody that self-funded their entire college career, so important. Every bit matters. So please give generously to support this wonderful organization, which is going to do so much for the students in our community, and our students in our community are going to do so much for the world. Please join me in blessing this offering with hymn number 402, From You I Receive. From you I receive, to you I give, together we share, and from this we live. From you I receive, to you I give, together we share, and from this we live. Thank you. Now please join me in reading our chalice extinguishing words. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again. And now in Espanol. Extinguimos esta llama, pero no la luz de la verdad, el calor de comunidad, o el fuego de nuestro compromiso. Estos los llevaremos en el corazón hasta que estemos juntos otra vez.
It is UCF tradition to join hands, forming anything around the semblance of a circle around the edges of the congregation. If you prefer to stay in the middle and be surrounded by our love, please enjoy that. All right, let's stretch a little this way. Yeah. We're going to stretch. Sandy, yeah, there we go. We got some people with their arms stretched way wide out there. Make sure they got enough space together. And just take a look at each other. We've shared stories of generosity. We've created this beautiful piece of artwork together that could not be made if everybody here didn't show up today. Thank you for your spirit that you bring to this congregation. The benediction. The work ahead demands much, and so vigilance is a must. Do not forget to pause, dear friends, for it is from grounded hearts and inner stillness that the vision to see clearly and the strength to repair the world arise. Amen. Now go have some coffee.